Second Ezra 13th chapter tell you what he gonna do. He said he gonna burn everybody up that come against him. It gonna be nothing but dust and smell of smoke. What do you think war is? That's what war is. That's what war is. I'm just here to warn you. Matthew the 12th chapter, the first verse. At that time, Mashayach Yahawashi went on the Sabbath day through the corn. You notice it's Sabbath day, Sabbath day, Sabbath day. He went through the Sabbath, on the Sabbath day through the corn, and his disciples were hungry. They was hungry and began to pluck the ears of corn and to eat. So they began to pluck the corn and eat on the Sabbath day. But when the Pharisees saw it, they said unto him, Behold, thy disciples do that which is not lawful to do upon the Sabbath day. Being technical. But he said unto them, Have ye not read what David did? This King David. When he was hungry, and they that were with him, this mighty man that was with him, how he entered into the house of the Most High and did eat the showbread, which was not lawful for him to eat, neither for them which were with him, but only for the priests. This is Mashayach Yahawashi telling them. Or have you not read in the law? So show me where he ever read anything from Revelations. Or show me where he ever read anything from what Paul wrote, that y'all believe more so than y'all believe in Mashayach Yahawashi. When he was on the earth, all he had to go by was the law and the prophets. Don't nobody fool you. Every time he opened up any scroll from the Old Testament, it was from the Old Testament. The law and the prophets, that's all he had. Or have ye not read in it? You just heard what he said. In Luke 24:44 down, he said, hey, he showed them himself in the law of Moses and in the prophets. Excuse me. He showed him himself in the law of Moses and the prophets and the Psalms of himself. You know, I can go in there and show you him all in the Old Testament. You come in the volume of the book, it's written of him. Then over need their understanding that they might understand the scriptures. But if you don't seek him in the Old Testament, how you know him? When you come back, how do you know me? You say, look, y'all better understand, man. You better hear what he's saying. You better understand this, y'all, because this is serious as serious can be. Matthew 7:21. He said, Not every one that said unto me, Mashayach, this is judgment, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven. This is judgment. But he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Now, if you ain't heard what the will of the Most High, which is in heaven, is so far, then you better scroll back and go over it and go over this lesson and go over this lesson prior to where we at here, whatever number it is, from number 1 on, because we done heard the will of the Most High is to keep his laws and his commandments. Point blank. He's telling you, not every one that said unto me, Mashayach, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, this is why it's very, very important that you know who you're going to believe in. You say, Master, Master, have we not prophesied in thy name? Some people prophesying in his name. And in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy name have done wondrous works. They're going to be rolling in his name. That's why I say many going to come in my name and saying, I am Mashayach. It shall fool many. That's like Christianity. They got Christ in that. Don't they have the Messiah in that? Mashayach in that? Yeah. You're anointed in that? Many gonna say, hey, I'm a Christian. I'm Christ-like. Y'all made Christian to mean Christ-like. You don't mean that, you know. Listen, many will say to me in that day, Mashayach, Jesus, Christ, Yeshua, Ashaya, Yehoshua. Have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name cast out devils? Just to save their life, y'all. And in thy name done many wonderful works. And then when I profess unto them, I never knew you. That's why I say, how they gonna know him without somebody really coming here to teach them in these last days? A preacher that's really gonna teach them about him How he was. He said, I and my Father are one. So y'all scared of the Most High, the Old Testament. What do you think? You think he's any different? You think he coming to judge and make war under the power of the Most High? He coming back to judge and make war like an earthquake, like a tidal wave, like a tornado. Shh, man, like a hurricane. Come on. Tornadoes and volcano eruptions. I mean, they ain't got nothing on the Most High. And the Mashayach Yahawashi, when he come back, he say, every man gonna be afraid. Are y'all ready for him, really? He said, I ain't coming back as a man in Isaiah 47:3. He come back in his angelic power. That's why he say, and did what I professed to them. I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. You know? That's why, look, don't get it twisted. Go to Matthew 25:41. Y'all know him like this? That's what he gonna tell them. Matthew 20, that's what I'm telling y'all. Better come back to the Most High. Better know him. And Mashayach Yahawashi, Matthew 25:41. Then shall I say unto them on the left hand, depart from me, ye cursed, in the everlasting fire prepared for the devil and his angels. Better understand. Verse 46. And these shall go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous, those that keep the laws and the commandments of the Most High, into life eternal. Understand this. That's why he said, look, this is real, y'all. Revelation 20:15. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. And your name gonna be written, not gonna be written in the book of life, and you're not doing what the Most High say do. You even talk about them, you don't even care about them. Enough. Going back to Matthew, I digress. Matthew the 12th chapter, verse 1. At that time, Mashayach Yahawashi went on the Sabbath day through the corn, and his disciples were hungry. They was hungry and began to pluck the ears of corn and to eat. And when the Pharisees saw it, they said unto him, it's on the Sabbath day, behold, that disciples do that which is not lawful to do upon the Sabbath day. Right? Let's go to St. John 5:11. St. John 5:11. He answered them, he that made me whole, the same said unto me, take up thy bed and walk. You see that? We just went over this. Then answered they him, what man is that which said unto thee, take up thy bed and walk? Say, who is this that gonna say that? And he said, and he that was healed was not who it was, for Mashayach Yahawashi had conveyed himself away. See? There it is. He didn't make sure that he was known by healing this man. He hid himself away. That's why I say he made himself of no reputation. But he humbled himself as a servant of the Most High. They asked him, who is it? He didn't know because the Mashayach Yahawashi hid himself away, and a multitude being in that place. He hid amongst the multitude and did what he did. Afterward, Mashayach Yahawashi findeth him in the temple and said unto him, behold, thou art made whole. Sin no more, lest the worst thing come unto thee. That's why when you gotta realize, when you've been blessed to be healed, then you gotta understand. He said, sin no more. You've been blessed to come out of whatever condition it is, or if you have children. And they've been blessed. They didn't most out and jack them and make it allow you to see certain things. So then he said, don't sin. Don't sin. That's why they asked. Remember they asked him who did sin? The man being born blind, or his parents. I better hear what he's saying. Go back to Matthew the 12th chapter. Verse 43 through 45. When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places, seeking rest, and findeth none. You see, when you come into the truth, you start to be cleaned up. That's why he said in St. John 15:3, now you are clean through the word which I have spoken to you. So when you start to hear the word of the Most High, according to the real truth, not according to what's been out there, and dealing with religions and so forth, because they not getting ready to celebrate the Passover, they're getting ready to celebrate Easter. It's start bringing in the spring goddess, fertility god. That's what you're doing. But that's another topic at hand. Well, we getting ready to celebrate the Passover. Mashayach Yahawashi is the Passover. We hoping that he's going to pass over us when he bring this destruction and allow us to be with him. Like he passed over those in Egypt and killed all the firstborn of the Egyptians. That's when Moses said, hey, I'm going to not harden Pharaoh's heart. He's going to let you go now. It's going to be the same way here. As it is written, it's written. I mean, what can I say? It's prophesied it's going to happen again. He going to get him a name. This time his name going to last forever, though. When you see all the things that's written here, prophesied in this Bible to happen, and for you to dismiss out of your mind, don't wait till it come to you. It's too late then, people. Most I say he going to mock and laugh at you when your calamity and your destruction come. I look at what happened in those states. I know in Mississippi was terrible. An air view looking down on whatever city that was in Mississippi, it was finished, man. Nothing's there hardly. A wall left to the house. One wall. That's the Most High, y'all. And don't think in your wildest dreams that he can't bring whatever he want to bring wherever he want to bring it. Underneath this earth is fire. Underneath this earth is water. And he can bring that fire up from any place on this earth. They got sinkholes. People just fall. I remember this man, his bedroom just went into the sinkhole. The rest of the house was standing. Just the bedroom. Choo! Went down the sinkhole. Don't wait until you got to call upon him. He going to say, I ain't going to hear you. You say, because you don't fear the Most High. But don't wait till he bring a disaster in your life to really come back to him. It's too late. Well, he didn't, like I say, it says in Hebrews 10:31, I hate to be a prophet of bad news or a man of bad news, however you want to look at it. But I just want you to fear the Most High so we can look upon you and bless you. Do what he say do. So now you've been cleaned up. You got rid of these, hopefully just one evil spirit that you was dealing with. Verse 44, then he said, I will return into my house from whence I came out. See, I'm going to go back into the body. This person that came out. Because you ain't studying. You ain't doing the things you were doing. When the Mashayach Yahawashi was cleaning you up. And the Most High called you. And you got to think about this. Think about this because I'm just giving you what I know and what I think about when I look at our people, and it hurts me too. It hurts. I'm saying you pork chop eating preachers, but you my people, and you are doing the wrong thing and leading our people to hell. That's why it hurts. And if you love your people, then you would want to repent and change. And all you that's under them, you want to pay a price. Mashayach Yahawashi, I can show you what he's telling you. You could be the least in the kingdom of heaven. But listen, think about the Most High on this. 2 Ezra 9:22. Because I know they ain't gonna read this to you in church. 2 Ezra 9:22. Let the multitude perish then. Let the multitude of people perish then, he said. which was born in vain. We don't know who's born in vain, but a multitude of people gonna perish, and it was born in vain. Their life is worthless to the Most High. This is what he said though. And let my grape be kept, and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect. Hear that? So the Most High is laboring to make some of us perfect. Hopefully it's you and me. But you got to endure to the end. If you ain't endure to the end, ain't do. Like I said, this truth is a revolving door. How many people I done seen come in and go? I ain't got no time to waste for nobody else that don't want to endure to the end. Prove yourself. This ain't no club. This ain't no organization. This ain't no group. This ain't no whatever. We're a nation. 12 tribes, community. What else they say? Whatever. If we not saying that we the nation of Israel, that's why we don't get no respect. The Most High laboring. He said, look, let my grape and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect. Most High laboring to make us perfect. And here you are. You turn your back on the Most High. This all you have. And he the one that had an issue from death. And when he visits you, what you gonna do? That's why Hebrews 10:31 said, for it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. Now, he done cleaned us up through the word. You know, the Spirit of the Most High rolling with us. And next thing you know, you're not dealing no more. Where are you gonna go? Only choice you have is to go back to some religion. That's why I look at a lot of people that I knew. They went back to religion, but they still, listening to what it is that I'm bringing out all these years. Because I'm still here. All praise to the Most High. Mashayach Yahawashi. These spirits, some people like Legion was 2,000 spirits, y'all. What's your name? Legion. Many of them. 2,000 spirits in one person. So when this spirit that came out of you, this evil spirit, this unclean spirit, came out of a person, verse 44 says, then he said, I will return into my house. I'm going to go back to my house. But once I came out, and when he is come, he said in his mind, hey, he rolling around, checking everything out, because you got spirits that's invisible, that were made. Those spirits are still there. That's why a lot of y'all still in the past. Y'all still dealing with the past. You're supposed to be dealing with the present to the future, but you're dealing in the past because this is all you know. It's these spirits that you've been dealing with that all the time mess with you. They're non-stop messing with you. You wonder why I think like this, why you feel like that, because them spirits. And you still be calling those spirits back to you. Listen, then said he, I will return into my house from whence I came out. And when he is come, he findeth it empty. Because you ain't studying no more. You ain't trying to be in this truth no more. Swept and garnished. Ain't nothing there. Your mind is worldly. That's all you have is the world. Somebody done grabbed you back into the world. That you can be thrown in everlasting fire. Where the worms never die and the fires never quit. So you don't repent and try and ask the Most High to forgive you and get in touch. That's why I say seek him 10 times more. I look at that for myself and anybody that coming to the truth. We got to seek him 10 times more. We ain't know how to read. So read this. I don't care if they got a doctorate degree. I can't understand it. Somebody that's unlearned. I don't understand it. You got to come and learn this. Say something you're just going to pick up and you know it. How many people I done met? They done read the Bible 8 times. One brother said he read it 8 times. A chaplain. I said, man, you don't know the Bible. He went to school out 11, 12 years. So you don't really know the Bible what it's talking about. And not boasting. It's our people, man. And it's like only way you're gonna get their attention is to let them know they wasted a lot of time. And they still, after all that they were being taught, still held on to where they was at. That's why a lot of times you be wasting your time, man. Nobody got the time to waste. Either one or you want. That's why I say, then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits. Here there's 7 other spirits more wicked than himself. That's why everybody's questionable. Oh, you was in the truth? Okay, you went out there in the world? Okay, well. Okay, well, let me see. Before the spirit's going to be revealed. 7 is another completion. That's why he's here to warn you. You hear what he said, so much I was telling you. Then goeth he, this evil spirit, this unclean spirit, wicked evil spirit, unclean, that came out of you, gonna come back in you. And he gonna bring a complete number of spirits with him. I mean, come on. 2,000 legion? Will you bring legion with him? 2,000 spirits? And you think you on point. This is what it say. Then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits, more wicked than himself. And they enter in and dwell there. And the last state of that man or woman is worse than the first. Even so shall it be also unto this, right now, today, wicked generation. Straight up. You better hear what he's saying. I hear him clearly. That's why when you understand and understand what this is about, and really looking at trying your best to have a relationship with Mashayach Yahawashi, yeah, you're going to cast you into the lake of fire, man. You don't believe it. That's why he look at you like this. Same one you call Jesus, he look at you like this. In 2 Peter 2:20, it says, for if after they have escaped pollutions of the world, I don't know if y'all know what pollution is, filthy and nasty. That's how you look at this world. Pollutions of the world, you escape the pollutions of the world to set yourself apart from the world, having the Spirit of the Most High through the knowledge of the Master and Savior of Mashayach Yahawashi, who come in the volume of the book. They are again entangled therein and overcome. The latter end is worse with them than the beginning. So that's why I said, that unclean spirit that came out of you, coming to the truth to clean you up, to learn the moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, the ceremonial laws. And you done went back out into the world. Like I said, revolving door. You done came in and now you revolve back out into the world. He said your latter end is worse than the beginning. I don't care how great it looks. He said your last end going to be greater than the beginning. For it had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness. And you can't say, you've been around me, I ain't talking about the law and the commandments. That's all I be talking about. Because I know our people, they hate to hear the law. They hate to hear instruction. They hate to hear direction. They hate to hear about what they're supposed to do concerning making it to the kingdom. Getting out of this hell that we in. Our captivity. Got to fear the Most High, repent, keep the commandments of the Most High, and cry unto the Most High. It's too much. But it had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness. There go righteousness again, y'all. Make it mean something different. Except for keeping the commandments of the Most High. Except for keeping the laws of the Most High. That's what it says. But it had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness than after they have known it, after you have been taught the moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, the ceremonial laws, to turn from the holy commandment delivered unto them. But it is happened unto them, according to the true proverb, the dog, he call you a dog, that's not a good thing, is turned to his own vomit again. And dog, when I look up the New English Bible Dictionary, they took dog and spelled it backwards. It came up with the word God. But yeah, I ain't going to really research that to see that what I'm telling you is real. Because y'all not analytical thinkers. Y'all just going to go by whatever it is and keep on doing whatever you're doing, offending the Most High. Listen what he call you. Say the dog. If you go out, leave this truth and go out there, he call you a dog. And dog in the New English Bible Dictionary is a word that was used by the Israelites pertaining to the Gentiles. These heathen nations outside the 12 tribes of Israel. Because of profaneness, unholiness. They said probably a reference to homosexuality. point blank, in the New Unger's Bible Dictionary. That's what they say. So it says, for it has happened unto them, according to the true proverb, the dog is turned to his own vomit again. So you come out of the world. That's what he let you, this world is like vomit, like a dog vomiting and eating it up. Not only that, he said, and the soul, the nasty, filthy, McNasty pig, hog, that was washed, see, cleaned up. Like I said, St. John 15:3. For now thou art clean through the word that I speak unto thee, the true word, understanding what this Bible is talking about. And the soul, the pig, the nasty hog that was washed to her wallowing in the mud. Man, that's like pig slop. They eat out. They do whatever they have. It's like nasty. That's like taking using the bathroom, taking your feces, put it in the plate, and putting your food on top of it and eating it. That's how he look at you. For you to go back into the world. Man. You put yourself at war with the Most High. And the Mashayach Yahawashi, y'all. Fulfilled within the falls in the hands of living power. St. John the 8th chapter. Verse 3. St. John 8:3. And the scribes and Pharisees brought unto him a woman taken in adultery. The scribes and Pharisees again brought to a Mashayach Yahawashi a woman taken in adultery. That means this woman is married and she went outside of her marriage and slept with another man. And when they had set her in the midst, they set her in the midst of them. They said to him, Master, see, they put L-O-R-D there. That's why I say that should be there. Master, this woman was taken in adultery. In the very act. See, she was taken in adultery in the very act of adultery. You see, it's just a woman there. Now, Moses in the law commanded us that such should be stoned. But what sayest thou? They tempted him. So the law says, get caught in adultery, you're supposed to be put to death. But what you got to say about it, Mashayach Yahawashi? What you got to say about it? Now Moses in the law commanded us that such should be stoned, put to death. But what sayest thou? This they said, tempting him, that they might have to accuse him. But the Master stooped down and with his finger wrote on the ground, as though he heard them not. So he's writing on the ground like he didn't hear anything they were saying. So when they continued asking him, he lifted up himself and said unto him, he that is without sin among you, let him first cast a stone at her. So what he's saying? You that without sin, cast the first stone at her. And again, he stooped down and wrote on the ground. So he's waiting on the stone the woman. He's writing on the ground, writing something on the ground. He already told him, he that without sin, cast the first stone. And they said, and they which heard it, being convicted by their own conscience, by their own mind, thinking about what he said, you without sin cast the first stone. Went out, one by one. They went out, one by one. Look who was left first. Beginning at the elders, because elders have lived longer, more longer than everybody else, though he did a whole lot of sins. Because he lived a long time. You know, he said he without sin cast the first stone. So he done lived the longest, so he done had a lot of sins in this lifetime. Starting with the elders, even unto the last. And the Mashayach Yahawashi was left alone, and the woman standing in the midst. When the Mashayach Yahawashi had lifted up himself and saw none but the woman, he said unto her, Woman, where are those thine accusers? Where your accusers at? Hath no man condemned thee? She said, No, man, Master. And the Mashayach said unto her, neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more. Remember, you keep saying, sin no more, right? He already said, or it's a worse thing gonna happen to you than what you're dealing with. You're gonna get payback. So looking at St. John 8:5. Now Moses in the law commanded us that such should be stoned. But what sayest thou? Say, what you gotta say about it? So let's go to the law. That's what I'm telling y'all. If you read the New Testament, all they have to go by is the law of Moses, the first 5 books of the Bible, and the prophets. That's it, all the way to Malachi. Joshua all the way to Malachi. And the Apocrypha, that's the 14 books. You see? Because when you get to the Malachi, you're in the Persian and Mede Empire. After Malachi comes the Apocrypha, the first Maccabees and the second Maccabees. But you have, like Ezra is in the Old Testament, you have all those that's in the Old Testament before the Maccabees. So now when you look at Malachi, you're in the Persian and Mede Empire. That's why the Bible is a history book. So when you get to Matthew, the first chapter, all you to have 66 books. You're just going by the King James 1611 Bible. That's the revised version of the 1611 Bible. Then you're in the Roman Empire. So from the Persian and Mede Empire to the Roman Empire, there's something missing. That's why they got that blank page, I imagine. And what goes there is the Greek Empire, because the Greek, Alexander the Greek took down the Persian and Mede Empire. You learn that in your school system. Esau's school system, his curriculum. You know they're going to teach you about their first emperor, Alexander the Great. Come on. So it's right here in the Apocrypha, in First Maccabees, where we went to earlier. First Maccabees and Second Maccabees, in the Apocrypha. They took it out. So from Malachi, you're in the Persian Mede Empire. Then you come to First and Second Maccabees, that's the Greek Empire. Then when you come to Matthew, you're in the Roman Empire. See? Mashayach wasn't born in the Greek Empire. He was born in the Roman Empire. So that's why it's very important to understand this. Now, look at the law. Leviticus 20 and 10. Just showing you this is all they had to go by. So all you that, you're looking, just frowning up at the New Testament, you better know how to go back and forth. Leviticus 20 and 10. And the man that committed adultery with another man's wife, see? A man that sleep with another man's wife. She married to a man, and this man sleeps with this man's wife. Even he that committed adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death. So what a man? Where is the man that she committed adultery with? They bought the woman. So he said she was caught in the very act. So where the man that she was caught having having sexual intercourse with? She married and she going out having sex with another man. He says, the man that committed adultery with another man's wife. If she committed adultery, she was married and she went out and had sex with another man outside of her marriage. That's another man's wife. Even he that committed adultery with his neighbor's wife, well, he should have been there. Unless it was one of them. I don't know. I can't say. All I know is from the eldest to the youngest, they all left. The last was gone. He just said, he without sin cast the first stone. It says, and this the law, and the man that committed adultery with another man's wife. This woman is married, she's married, then you lay with her. Just a moment.